and get their hotels reserved. So anyway, with that, let's get into some of the product stuff we're going to talk about tonight. The security repeater. Now let me show you, and this is a little tip and trick for everybody. If you go on your website, I'm going to log this off so I'm not blocking the view here. You go onto your Pulsar Halo website, and I'll just back out here, and you go into any of these things. You're looking for whatever it is. I think vast majority, most of the stuff we have out here, there's details. So if you actually go and click on these details here, it'll give you a summary of what it does. And the summary comes from the manufacturer. There might be a spec sheet in here. Oh, yep, there's specifications right there. And then there's docs. But this here is the wireless repeater. It's on the website. It's under the cell cards and translators section of the website. So if you go on there, and you'll see that that's where the universal hardwire to RF translator. Now, a lot of people don't know what that is. This is, for instance, somebody who has an older system, a hardwired system, and they still want to use those sensors. Maybe they got 5, 6, 7 sensors that are currently hardwired. Well, typically those wires will run back to a control room somewhere, maybe a pantry or something. So they'll have, in those old security systems, they'll have the wires. Your door sensor might have wires running through your wall all the way back to this control panel. Well, you can use those sensors, because what happens is those sensors will get put into... Well, let me go into some details. We'll talk about 2 things while we're here. Let's go to this product install guide, because it'll usually give us a nice picture and description. There's got to be a way I can blow this up. Yeah, here we go. So what this does is this becomes the wireless transmitter that this is what communicates with the hub, and it translates the hardwired signal into a wireless signal. So that's hence the word hardwire to wireless translator. So you've got these, let's say, for instance, hardwired sensors, little contact sensors that are on the doors or windows of your home. They're running back, all these wires are running back to one central location where they would connect into the old alarm system. Well, we can take those wires and we can connect them to these contact points inside this little extra panel. This is just a panel. You put a power supply onto it. You just kind of put it in the control room where the old security sensor control box used to be, and then you can run those wires. There's usually 2 wires per contact, and those can come in, and you can connect those into these connections here. Sorry, gotta get rid of the dog. So, back. So this is where those sensors would get connected to. And then this little button up here, it's usable for many different systems. Obviously, ours is a cryptic system, so we would use that. But anyway, so that's what that's for. Now this repeater, let's go back and look at the repeater. So this is the universal hardwired to RF translator, which may come in handy. But let's go into here. We've got a wireless universal translator that's right here. Now this actually goes inside your hub. So you would open the hub and snap this into the slot. It goes in the same spot as your Z-Wave card. And what you would do with that, so typically you would have this Z-Wave card in your hub. Every hub that we sell has it. And you would pop this Z-Wave card out and replace it with this universal wireless translator. It's a Z-Wave and translator all in one. So it not only will communicate the Z-Wave that you already had, but this here can now communicate with other sensors like DSC sensors and Honeywell sensors and different things like that. So you can take over other wired sensors with this translator put into your hub. And let me see if the docs on this show any details. Yeah, so you can take over existing sensors from other systems. I think it specifies down here which systems. Yeah, from Honeywell, 2 gig, GE, NAPCO, or DSC sensors. So some of the major players out there, we can take over some of those sensors. So, for instance, I know Dean had a guy out in Bismarck that had a system. I thought it was a 2 gig system, and this wireless translator will be able to take over the door window sensors. Let me zoom in on that here. The supported sensors that it will take over is door window sensors, PIR, which is infrared, the infrared sensors, which motion sensors basically in layman's terms, the glass break sensors, the panic, and the fob. It will not obviously let you communicate with the old DSC or 2 gig panel, but it will let you use their sensors with our hub. So, what do we got here? Okay. So that's another option that, some people may not know what that is or what it's for, but that's what it's for. And then the cell card, we know a Z-Wave card. So then that brings us to this repeater. Details of the repeater. Go into that. And here is that repeater. And so what this does is it extends the signal of your security radio transmitter and receiver that's in the hub. So for instance, I'm going to take you to some pictures. These are pictures of Jeff's place where he installed this thing. And if you look up here in the corner, there's the repeater he put right here by this window, because this shop that's out here was quite a ways away from the hub, because the hub was in a far back corner of their house, and it wouldn't reach all the way out to this shop back here. So, yeah, there's another picture of the shop. I don't know what all these pictures... Yeah, so there's outside the house, walking distance up to that shop. It wouldn't quite reach to that shop. So he put in this repeater here, and we paired it up with the hub, and now then this repeater extended the security sensor signal to where it could reach out to this shop out here. So that's what that thing can do. Let me go back to my... Yeah, it extends the range. So this is made by Alula, our manufacturer, which used to be Resolution. But if you look at it, it's relatively simple to enroll the repeater itself by placing the panel into wireless enrollment mode. Same thing that you'd have to do if you were installing a sensor or anything like that. And then mount the repeater in desired location. Set the repeater protocol by changing on the panel. So obviously we need to set ours to position 8, because the Connect Plus hub is the same as our hub. That's the Alula's name for our hub is called Connect Plus. So you'd put it to number 8 so it knows it's communicating with our hub and our sensors. And then you can learn the sensors by let's see, configuration mode tips. Yeah, so there's a configure button in here that you press. Where's the picture of there it is. So that's what the panel looks like. So there's the configure button here. So there's 2 selections that you have to select. You got to select which panel, which ours is the Connect Plus panel. So that's number 8 there. And then the sensors that we're using are Connect Plus sensors, our nano sensors that we use. So that's where you'll set that. You'll push this configure button. And then when you do that, now you can open and close the sensors repeatedly. And then it will learn that sensor into the repeater, and the repeater will start beeping. And so now you'll know that the signal is being transmitted farther, repeated out. It's, another roughly 1,500 feet. So he's got, where Jeff has got this hub, or this repeater, is on the opposite end of where the hub is. And so it's just extending that signal out to be able to reach those sensors out at that building out there. So... So anyway, so a couple of things I just wanted people to understand is that information about the devices that you have are right here on the website. So a lot of people don't know where to look, where to get the specs and the information. Most, I think, there was a few for a while that we didn't have all the information on, but I believe 90% of everything we've got on here has the documentation for it. Let's say, for instance, we go into the doorbell camera here. Oh, why is that in doors and locks? There we go. So there you've got the documentations, user guide, installation guide, adding a secondary user. So all the information, if you don't happen to have it, it doesn't come with it in the box because we have it all right here. So you can click on these user installation guides and it'll take you step by step through it. Several of these things we've created videos for that you can go onto this channel, pulsarhalotv.com, and get that information. So anyway, let me go see who's on here, see if we got any questions. Go ahead and, if you have any questions, go ahead and throw them up on the Halo Nation, whatever that is there. You can see it. Dean says, baby, it's cold outside. Wait, this is not a Facebook post. No, it is not. It's live and in color. So there's Jeff Hoff, the man who I'm talking about. These pictures provided courtesy of Jeff and Candy Hoff's cabin up there. Looks like it's beautiful, nice and snowy. And this was several weeks ago, I believe. So those are the pictures of there. So anyway, I don't know questions. Oh, let me let you see me again. There you go. Here I am. Let's see if there's anything else on here that people, like I said, I didn't do a lot of prepping for tonight. Got real busy. Remo Watch. Oh, by the way, on Rapid Funnel, we soon will have campaigns for the Remo Watch now. If you've got people that are interested in that Remo Watch, we're going to be able to put them on a campaign to get information about that Remo Watch. For those that didn't know, that Remo Watch, the monitoring has dropped down to $49 a month now. If you didn't know that, it was at $59, but the manufacturer decided to give us a break, an intro break on it, so it's now will permanently be at $49.95 a month. Let's see, cell cards, accessories, Nanomax sensors. For those that don't know, that's if you happen to have your nano sensors, which are these right here. If you have those mounted on a metal door, sometimes the signal strength gets compromised. So in order to help alleviate that, that's what this Nanomax sensor is for. And the sensor will pop in. Basically, you pop the nano sensor off the cover and stick it in this area here. And what it does is it tips the sensor out. So instead of it laying flat on the door, it tips that sensor out, which lets the antenna that's built into that thing, pulls it away from that door just a little bit so it can actually get a better, stronger signal back to the hub. What else is cell cards? Most people know what a cell card is. If you put that in, you can mount that in there. We also have a video of how to install that if you end up getting one after the fact. Door locks, camera, tilt sensor, garage door tilt sensor. Well, there's another thing I have to constantly let people know this. The garage door controller, if you do get the garage door controller, it comes with its own tilt sensor. Let me see if it shows it in here. Yes, it does. So it comes with a tilt sensor that you can see right here, right in the center. That little tilt sensor is only for notification to your app, whether the... No, you guys can't see this. What am I doing? Hold on. There we go. So in the garage door controller, there's this tilt sensor here. That tilt sensor is not a security sensor. You can see it up here as well. It's just a small sensor that you mount to your garage door, and all that's doing is communicating with this controller, so it will tell your app whether your door is open or closed. It will not tell your security system, because the security system uses a different tilt sensor with the security protocol. So that's where this garage door controller will have a tilt sensor for notification to your app. But in order to have your garage door secured, if you want that and want to know when the garage door gets... Why did it go into home automation then? I don't understand. Where was it? Oh, it's on doors and locks because of garage doors. Makes sense. So this is a security tilt sensor that uses the Cryptex, and so that will, if your system is armed, will trip an alarm if your system is armed. So, and then also in here, so you got the garage door controller, the tilt sensor. What other automation devices we have? Smart socket, smart dimmer, indoor wall, bulb. Yeah, this is all pretty standard stuff. So anyway, well, we're getting close enough here. I just wanted to make sure I covered some of these things because they're questions that I get asked. Wireless glass break sensor, outdoor motion sensor. I have one of those. I love it because it will detect automobiles. I've got one set up at the farm to detect when cars pull in the driveway. It lets me know. I've got that sensor is disabled from the security, but it is set up to notify me and tells my cameras to record when someone drives by that sensor or someone walks by that sensor. It will let me know. And then these other things. Oh, here's another confusion that people have. There's two sirens. We have two wireless sirens that are just extenders. Your hub has a siren built into it, but let's say your hub happens to be in the office and it's way in the back of the house or whatever, and you want to have another siren out in maybe the entryway. Either of these will work for sirens when an alarm happens. If you want the siren to basically mimic what your hub does, so for instance, I have the global chime turned on, so when a door opens up, you hear that beep, beep. This siren, this cheaper wireless Cryptex, I don't mean cheaper, I just mean less expensive one, does not mimic the hub's beeping on that side of it. It's just for burglary. This one over here actually will mimic everything the hub does. So if there happens to be an error, a tamper, the global chime, somebody opening and closing doors, this siren will mimic that hub. So you can put that. And this one here, I don't know if we've got a picture of it. This one actually plugs in. Let me see if it shows the back of it. Oh, shoot, of course it does not. But it's got plugs on the back of it where you can actually plug it into an outlet. So this one actually plugs into an outlet, where this one here does not plug into an outlet. You can get an adapter for it, but primarily it's battery powered. So that, it can be battery powered, or you can plug in an AC adapter into it as well. But this one here just plugs directly into the wall, so you can just plug it into any outlet and then it will stay there constantly. It does have a battery backup built into it as well. So anyway, that's enough for tonight. Hope it was interesting enough for you. See if I got any questions here. Nope, we're good. So, all right, Pulsar Halo TV, one more episode in the books. Also, if anybody has any questions about parts of their system, please go ahead and send those in, and we will cover them. A lot of the things that we cover here come from customer service questions and concerns or issues or whatever that happen from the customer service line. So we'll take some of those and make sure that they get addressed on here. But if you have something that hasn't been called into customer service or doesn't need to be, you just have a question about the system, go ahead and send it over to me. I'm on Halo Nation. You can private message me, or you can text me or whatever if you have any questions about things, and we'll make sure we get it put up on here. So anyway, Big T signing off. Make sure you go out and promote your product every day. A promotion a day will keep the bill collectors away. I was like that. So we'll talk to you soon. You guys have a fantastic evening. Bye-bye now.